Welcome to Wonderslate. Buy smart eBooks from the best publishers. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell.
For today's quiz is CBSE Class 12 latest sample paper, Economics. Question number 1. The government can achieve its budget objective of redistribution of income by fill up the blank with correct alternative. Option A. Managing the general price level in the economy to the desired level. Option B. Increasing the gross domestic products, GDP, of the economy. Option C. Bringing the production of goods and services under its direct and absolute control. Option D. Rationalization of taxes in pro-poor direction. The correct answer is Option D. Rationalization of taxes in pro-poor direction. One of the major objectives of government budget is the redistribution of income by imposing higher taxes on higher income group and lower taxes from lower income group or giving subsidies to poor. Question number 2. Balance of payments of an economy records for a fiscal year. Fill up the blank with correct alternative. Option A. Income and expenditure of the government. Option B. Inflow and outflow of funds of the government. Option C. Inflow and outflow of foreign exchange to / from the economy. Option D. Inflow and outflow of loans to / from the rest of the world. The correct answer is Option C. Inflow and outflow of foreign exchange to / from the economy. Balance of payments is the accounting record of all international transactions between home country and residents of the rest of the world. Question number 3. Identify which of the following bank does not interact directly with the general public. Option A. Bank of India. Option B. State Bank of India. Option C. Central Bank of India. Option D. Reserve Bank of India. The correct answer is Option D. Reserve Bank of India. RBI is the central bank which is the apex institution of the financial market and thus doesn't interact with the general public. Question number 4. Identify which of the following is not an example of invisible item under current account of the balance of payments transactions. Choose the correct alternative. Option A. Air and sea transport. Option B. Postal and courier services. Option C. Education-related travel. Option D. Merchandise-linked transactions. The correct answer is Option D. Merchandise-linked transactions. Merchandise trade is export and import of goods, that is referred to as visible trade or balance of trade. Question number 5. Read the following statements carefully and choose the correct alternative from the following. Statement I. Demonetization was the step taken by the Government of India in order to tackle the problems of corruption, black money, terrorism and circulation of fake currency in the India economy. Statement 2. Demonetization has ensured improved tax compliance in India over the period of time. Alternatives. Option A. Both the statements are true. Option B. Both the statements are false. Option C. Statement I is true and Statement 2 is false. Option D. Statement 2 is true and Statement I is false. The correct answer is Option A. Both the statements are true. Demonetization is the process of removing the legal tender status of the existing currency system that can be done by the government with the help of the central bank to fulfill any required objective. Question number 6. Ms. Sakshi, an economics teacher, was explaining the concept of minimum percentage of the total deposits to be kept by any commercial bank with the central bank of the country, as per norms and statute prevailing in the country. From the following, choose the correct alternative which specifies towards the concept explained by her. Option A. Cash reserve ratio. Option B. Repo rate. Option C. Bank rate. Option D. Statutory liquidity ratio. The correct answer is Option A. Cash reserve ratio. CRR is the fraction of total deposit that each commercial bank must reserve with the central bank, and they do not get any interest on the same. Question number 7. Two friends Meera and Sindhu were discussing the exchange rate systems. Under this system, the exchange rates are determined by the market forces of demand and supply. However, deliberate efforts are made by the competent authority to keep the exchange rates within a specific range. The above-mentioned statement was given by Sindhu. Identify the type of exchange rate system was she talking about? Option A. Fixed ex-dhange rate. Option B. Floating exchange rate. Option C. Managed floating exchange rate. Option D. Managed fixed exchange rate. The correct answer is Option C. Managed floating exchange rate. Managed floating exchange rate is the one which carries the features of both fixed and flexible exchange rate. Determination of exchange rate is based on the market forces of demand and supply, while the excessive fluctuation is checked by the central bank. Question number 8. Read the following statements carefully and choose the correct alternative from the following. Statement I. Public goods are those goods and services that are collectively consumed by the public. Statement 2. Public goods are excludable and rivalrous in nature. Alternatives. Option A. Both the statements are true. Option B. Both the statements are false. Option C. Statement I is true and Statement 2 is false. Option D. Statement 2 is true and Statement I is false. The correct answer is Option C. Statement I is true and Statement 2 is false. First statement is correct about public goods, while in the second statement public goods are those which are non-excludable and non-rival in nature, i.e., once a public good is produced and available for consumption, no one can be denied its consumption. Question number 9. Under the balance of payments structure of a nation, the two main categories of accounts for the classification of the transactions are, fill up the blank with correct alternative. I. Current account. 2. Unilateral transfer account. 3. Capital account. 4. Loan account. Identify the correct alternatives from the following. Option A. I and 2. Option B. I and 3. Option C. 3 and 4. Option D. 4 and I. The correct answer is Option B. I and 3. Current and capital account of BOP are two components. Current account records those items which do not impact assets and liabilities of the country, while capital account records those items which impacts assets and liabilities. Question number 10. Identify which of the following is not a function of the Reserve Bank of India. Choose the correct alternative. Option A. To act as the banker to the Government of India. Option B. To act as the custodian of the Gold Reserve of India. Option C. To act as the financial advisor to the Government of India. Option D. To issue coins and 1 rupee note. The correct answer is Option D. To issue coins and 1 rupee note. Issue of currency coins and 1 rupee note is the responsibility of the central government. Question number 11. Industrial Policy Resolution, IPR, 1956 formed the basis of the 5-year plan. Fill up the blank with correct alternative. Option A. First. Option B. Fourth. Option C. Second. Option D. Third. The correct answer is Option C. Second. IPR was formed in 1956, whereas the second 5-year plan began from 1956 to 1961. Question number 12. Occupational structure refers to, fill in the blank with correct alternative. Option A. Size of labor force in a country. Option B. Number of people living in a country. Option C. Distribution of workforce among different sectors of an economy. Option D. Nature of different occupations. The correct answer is Option C. Distribution of workforce among different sectors of an economy. Occupational structure refers to the distribution of workforce among the various sectors of an economy.